The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time there were three little pigs who lived with their mother. One day she called them all to her and said, "Children, it is time for you to set out and make your own way in the world. But remember, you must always beware of the big bad wolf." The three little pigs set out immediately. As they went down the lane, they met a man with a load of straw, and the first little pig asked him for some straw to build a house. "Of course," said the man, and he gave the little pig a big bundle of straw. In no time at all the little pig had built himself a house, and, with a contented grunt, he settled down inside. The other two little pigs carried on walking, when they met a man with a cart loaded with sticks. The second little pig asked if he could have some sticks to build himself a house. "Of course, little pig," said the man, and he gave the little pig a bundle of sticks. The little pig worked hard to build himself a house of sticks. When it was finished at last, he lay down inside and grunted happily. Meanwhile, the third little pig had continued on down the road. On his way, he met a man with a barrow loaded with bricks, and he thought it will be hard work to build a house of bricks, but it will be a very strong house, so he asked the man if he could have some bricks. "Certainly, little pig," said the man, and together they unloaded some bricks into a pile at the side of the road. The little pig worked hard all that day and the next. His brothers came to watch him and poked fun at him for wanting a house made of bricks. But the third little pig ignored them and carried on working until at last his house was finished. The very next day who should come lopping around the road but the big bad wolf. When he saw the little house made of straw, he stopped and sniffed the air. He could smell the smell of young pig, and he crept up to the house of straw. Little pig," he called out, "let me come in." But the little pig recognized the voice of the big bad wolf. He called out from inside his straw house, "No, no, by the hair on my chinny chin chin, I'll not let you in." So the big bad wolf shouted, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." He huffed and puffed, and the straw flew in every direction. The little pig only just managed to escape, and he ran as fast as his legs would carry him to his brother's house made of sticks. Rushing inside, he cried, "Help, help! The big bad wolf is after me." So the second little pig slammed the door of his house and locked it. The big bad wolf lopped along the road after the little pig. When he saw the house made of sticks, he stopped and sniffed the air. This time he could smell the smell of two young pigs, and creeping up to the house made of sticks, he called out, little pigs, let me come in." The two little pigs shook and shivered inside the house, but they called out to him, "No, no, by the hair on our chinny chin chins, we'll not let you in." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," shouted the big bad wolf. And he huffed and puffed, and he puffed and huffed until the house of sticks collapsed. The two young pigs just managed to escape out of the back door. They ran as fast as their legs would carry them to their brother's house made of bricks. Rushing inside, they panted, "Help, help! The big bad wolf is after us." So the third little pig slammed the door of his house and shut all the windows. Soon the big bad wolf came loping down the road. But when he came to the house made of bricks, he stopped and sniffed the air. "My goodness," he exclaimed, "I can smell the smell of three young pigs." And he crept up to the house and called out, little pigs, let me come in." The three little pigs shook and shivered inside the house, but they shouted back, "No, no, by the hair on our chinny chin chins, we'll not let you in." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," shouted the big bad wolf. So he huffed and puffed, and he puffed and huffed, but nothing happened. So he huffed and he puffed and huffed again, but still nothing happened. The little house stood as firm as a rock. The exhausted wolf slunk off into the woods to think of another way to catch the three little pigs. After a lot of thinking, he had an idea and rushed back to the brick house. "Little pigs," he called, There are some lovely turnips in the farmer's field. Let's go and collect some tomorrow. Now the 3 little pigs liked turnips very much, so the 3rd little pig called out, "All right, Mr. Wolf, I'll meet you at the farmer's field at 10 o'clock. Next morning, the little pig got up very early and went straight to the farmer's field. He collected all the turnips he needed and was home before the wolf even got out of bed. The wolf was furious at being tricked, but he decided to have another go at catching the 3 little pigs. "I'm sorry I missed you in the farmer's field this morning," he called outside the little brick house. "There are some lovely juicy apples in the farmer's orchard. Shall we go together at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning and get some?" The 3 little pigs liked apples even more than they liked turnips, so the 3rd little pig called out, "All right, Mr. Wolf, I'll meet you at the farmer's orchard at 5 o'clock. Next morning the little pig got up very, very early, as before. But this time the wolf came early too. He arrived while the little pig was still up in the apple tree. The little pig pretended to be pleased to see the wolf and threw him an apple. Then, while the wolf was picking it up, he jumped down out of the tree into a barrel. He rolled all the way down the hill to his house and rushed in and bolted the door. The wolf was so angry that the little pig had tricked him again that he ran all the way back to the little house of bricks. Then he decided to climb onto the roof and come down the chimney to catch the 3 little pigs. But the 3 little pigs were ready for him. They had put a cauldron of water on the fire, so that when the wolf came slipping and sliding down the chimney, he fell splash straight into the boiling water. "Ah!" shrieked the wolf, and leapt back up the chimney in one bound. After that, the 3 little pigs lived happily in the brick home for many years to come, and you can be sure that they never saw the big bad wolf again. There you go, guys. Sorry this one's a bit late this week. I've been busy.